All right, we're going to solve this problem together, y'all. This is just the quadratic equation. Again, you don't have to have this memorized. I will have it on the board or an anchor chart. Now, what we have to do to solve these is we have to get everything on one side. So I'm going to move my 6 over on both sides, and I end up with x squared plus 2x. And then a negative 11 plus 6 is a minus 5, and that equals to 0. Now I can go ahead and label everything. My a is 1, my b is 2, my c is negative 5. My 2a is 2 times 1 is 2. My b squared is 4. My 4ac is, let's see, 4 times 1 is 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So let's go ahead and plug this in. I'm going to switch over to blue so that we can have a little bit break up in the colors. So here we go. In order to solve this, we do x equals, and I'm going to plug in my negative, which is from up here. My b is a 2. Plus minus square root of b squared, which is 4, minus, right there, put that minus there, y'all. That minus has to be there. Now, what is our 4ac? It is also a minus. That's why it matters. All over 2a, which in this case is 2. All right, now we're going to clean it up. X equals negative 2 plus minus square root. 4 minus minus becomes a plus. So minus minus becomes a plus, and that's going to be 24 underneath the house over 2. Now it can break apart a little bit. So this square root of 24 can break apart a little bit right here. We have to simplify this radical down. A lot of y'all still are either cheating or never learned this. It's kind of annoying, but it's very easy to break this down. We just have square root of 4 times square root of 6. And then I end up with 2 square root of 6. So I can replace that here. X equals negative 2 plus minus 2 square root of 6 over 2. And now, looking at these numbers, I'm going to underline in red which numbers I'm talking about. This number, and this number. Can we find a GCF? And the answer is yes, we can. The GCF between those numbers clearly is 2. So the GCF is 2. So what I can do now is divide that out. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and solve that. And you get x equals negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1 plus minus 1 square root of 6 all over 1. And then you can clean this up a little bit. Here's what it looks like. You get x equals negative 1 plus minus square root of 6, and then you're done. And those are the roots. That's where it crosses over on the x-axis. So that's it. Leave it like that. When it's like a radical, you can't solve it. So now number 10. I'm hoping number 10 breaks down to something pretty. Let's find out. Okay, I'm going to switch and solve number 10. So we're going to go to A. A is 1. B is negative 4. C is 29. Let's see, B squared is 16. B squared squares will never be negative, y'all. Squaring will never be negative. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. 2a is 2. And then 4ac, what do we have for our 4ac? 4 times 1, okay, is 4 times 29. What is that? 126, I believe is the answer. No, I need to make sure I got that right. Hold on. It's 116. 116. 116. All right, sorry, I had to make sure that was 116. And it is. So now you are ready to basically insert all this garbage. So now we have x equals, y'all, that negative has to be there. My b is also negative. Notice the importance of that. Plus minus square root. B squared is 16. That minus right there has to come down. My 4ac is 116. All over 2a, which is 2. And let's look at this. Okay, and that's that. All right, let's clean it up. X equals negative turns into a positive, plus minus square root of 16 minus 116 is negative 100, basically. That's negative 100. That's negative 100 all over 2. Now here's the fun part. This is where I kind of like this. So to break down our radical up here, our negative 100, needs to be broken down like this. Number one, I know that the square root of 100 is 10. And then I know that that negative is going to turn into an I. So that simplifies down to 10I, and you end up with x equals 4 plus or minus 10I over 2. Now, you're close. This is close to the answer, but you have to do the GCF. So looking at this number, and this number. What is the GCF between those two numbers? In this case, it is 2. So you have to divide your remaining answer by 2, those numbers. So x equals 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. Don't forget your I, all over 2. Not 2, sorry, all over 1. And you're done. That's it. That's how this works. That's the answer to this problem. You cannot simplify any more beyond that. If you have an I in your answer or you have a square root in your answer, you can't simplify any further.